the top corner right there. That's my car. And I named him Grant because I only listened to Grant Perez during that time. Yeah. So, hi everyone, my name is Noreen and I am running to be your event coordinator. So, Filipino culture has always been a big part of my life, which I believe most of you, or at least some of you guys here, can relate to. And even if you're not Filipino or you don't relate, I think that in some way, the culture and the people had made enough impact on you to be here today. For me, I had always wanted to find a place where I belonged, and so I thought that maybe I could find people with similar interests in Filipino culture. However, I had never expected this interest to result in creating one of the best moments of my life in just a span of 4 or 5-ish months. Once my semester of college started, I realized that making friends and meeting new people was harder than I thought it would be. I was scared that I'll be all alone, stuck in my high school self for the next 4-ish years. But I mean, I had to do something. When I walked into the first gen meeting, I didn't know that I could feel so welcomed by people I just met. I laughed, I cried, I sang, and I spoke with you guys. And honestly, that was way out of my comfort zone. But do I regret it? No. I see the officers work so hard in planning events, running meetings, and just making sure that their members have fun. We have all watched them progressively get more and more stressed as friendship games drew near. And one of the things I regret the most was being too scared to help out. I wish that even if it was small, I could help alleviate some of their worries. I saw how much they cared for the club and how badly they wanted us to have the most fun. Over time, I realized that I wanted the same thing for the future of this club. I want others to be able to feel just as welcomed and have just as much fun as I had this semester. Although I've never experienced PCN and I've only experienced what friendship games is like, I want to run for your event coordinator. And if I become one, I'll try my hardest and learn to make sure your experience in Macaisa is worthwhile. And just to add a little bit more about me and like what I did in terms of leadership, I was the co-president of the University High Bamayanan.
Yes, sir! Other co-president right here.
My other co-president, John Herrera, over there. And we ran the UHS Filipino Club for 3 years, where we basically did something similar to Makaisa, where we just brought everyone together and teach them about the Filipino culture in the community, and and just like made a nice community where everyone is safe and comfortable about learning just more about our culture. Another thing is that I was publicity for my high school's cooking club, and so what that entailed was that I ran the club Instagram and made sure I communicated with all our members about just when meetings are and like just the events that we have. And lastly, I was also the captain of my school dance team called X Class, where I teach choreography, and I communicated with the school and staff about performing for the school. And so I hope that as an event coordinator, I'll be able to create such a fun community and like carry on what the officers this semester has really brought to us. And yeah, thank you.
I know this is your first semester, but what are some new things or ideas that you would like to implement as an event coordinator?
Some new things. I mean, I don't know how many socials we have in the year, but I think that things like socials or just like the gen meetings, the icebreakers that we've experienced, were really fun to have, and just some things that can bring our club together and have activities and like events where we can just all hang out and just be ourselves with one another. I think that is some events that I would really like to end with.
As an EC member, responsibility I know is to like get everybody to come out and join. How do you plan on getting people who aren't as active to join, or maybe are available at all times to come out to the events that we were going to be planning.
I think just communicating with them and making sure, even if they have busy schedules, I want to reassure them that they're always here and they're always welcome in the club whenever they want to. And like what everyone knows, that we're always on the 3rd floor. And so even if they can't make it to our events and stuff, I just want them to know that we're always there. And just we're always welcome to have them. So whenever they're free, I think that would be nice.
Let's see. I don't know how far you are going along in nursing, but I know it's hard to balance like school with a lot of things, and officer stuff is like, it's pretty much like another full-time job. So I was just curious to see like how are you going to manage all your responsibilities together on top of working as an officer?
I think I've definitely had a lot of experience with that, especially since I was running 3 clubs at the same time during my senior year of college. So, so far college for me has been pretty easy. Obviously I cannot say that from the rest of my semesters, especially with anatomy and physiology coming up. But I think that with my past experiences and what I know now as I've grown, I think I can think of ways to balance both school and officer, because I know it's hard with all the responsibilities of being an officer and making sure my grades stay up for nursing school. So I think I'll be able to do it and just find a workflow that works for me.
Same question as Marina. How would you encourage members to be a part of PCN?
Or more members. Yeah. There are members who may not be like comfortable in dancing. I think I just want to reassure them that we'll be able to teach you. And like I've seen with the PCN practice, you guys are really able, you're willing to teach people. And I think that's what I really like. And I want to be able to reassure them that no matter what skill level they are or like how busy they are, we'll always like make time for them and teach them as long as they want to. And it's also like the dances, I feel like we could offer them resources too, in ways of like they can practice on their own time when they can, even if they cannot make it to practices. So just having those resources out there, I think that will help them.
So since you were the captain of your high school dance team, and Marina is the captain of her hip-hop dance team, can we expect to see some super duo event coordinator dance group performance in the future?
You should have seen us in FG roll call practice. We were right there. You'll see us FG roll call. FG roll call.
What are some ways that you can promote PCN, either through social media or through the general meeting, to interest members to come at least try PCN?
I think through social media, we obviously have posts and announcements about it. But I think that maybe showing them like some videos also, like what PCN actually is, what we're practicing, just like the meaning, the purpose. I think just them being able to know like what PCN is and seeing what it is can maybe spark their interest and think like, oh, maybe this is a fun opportunity for us. And with our meetings too, I also think like maybe showing videos or like even having some performances maybe. Yeah, just like showing them what PCN is could help like maybe advertise, I guess, and maybe spark some interest. Just keeping it out there and like keep reminding people. Like maybe they were reluctant at first, but as they keep seeing it and see how fun it is, I think seeing people like enjoy it, maybe they might be interested in seeing what it's about. So just sparking their interest. Ciao.
Since you had experience in cooking club, is there any specific ideas you would have as an event coordinator?
I mean, we did do the Halloween for our Filipino
really?
club.
Oh, really?
And I do now own an ice shaver.
Oh,
So,
geez.
an electric one too, not the handheld ones. That was terrible.
Alright.
But yeah, just we could do like Halloween, do some simple foods. Like the idea's been out there of like lumpia. Maybe talk about like some recipes that are easy, healthy, and it doesn't have to be hard. I think that we all have to start from somewhere, even though we don't know how to cook, like turon, like bananas, fried bananas. I feel like that's really nice. Yeah.
Any other questions?